Good morning and welcome to the Ford Trailseeker Series number 2 in the beautiful Cradle Moon.
The Raptor section will definitely play a big part in the race today.
We've got the single track. I'm excited to see some animals out there. It's going to be a tough race.
It's all open for the win today. It's going to be fast. It's going to be awesome. Enjoy it with us.
Don't really know what to expect.
Giraffes running around, the springbok everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's always important to racing in South Africa. That's why we actually here. And I think Mark has a good chance to do a good result today.
I think it's going to be a race of positioning and just, reading the race as it comes. And I think that's going to be quite important in terms of, just being in front and being in position.
So for me, it's just trying to stick on the wheel and hopefully make it over the climb with them and then try to stick the last few kilometers. So for me, it's just positioning the whole race.
Well, my plan is to try to stay with the top riders, with Sam, Vera, Sarah. Today is all about punchy style riding. Who's going to hang in there the longest?
It looks like quite a cool route, lots of single track. I'm excited to see some animals out there, but I think this is the race is going to be hot with some good ladies on the start line.
Cool, crisp early morning light, alive with possibility, with hope, with energy. This is round 2 of the Ford Trailseeker Series in the Cradle. First out of the start chute were the elite men. The cream of the country's marathon mountain bike racers charged away from Cradle Moon. Ahead of them, 62 kilometers of unrelenting trails. The 1,300 meters of elevation gain is deceptive. The defining climb, Ford Raptor Rampage, comes at 35 kilometers. Peaking at 1,500 meters above sea level, the upper reaches are brutally steep and loose. Either side of Raptor Rampage, the legs will be tested over numerous short, sharp ascents that will drain energy and sting the quads. The full distance demands smart pacing, good climbing legs, and stamina, all of which will be rewarded over the rough terrain.
I think there's single track very early on in the race. So yeah, you're gonna have to have a good start, and then I think there's not a lot of places to overtake from what I hear. So yeah, just be at the front the whole time, and there's a big climb before Raptor section in the middle. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a lucky day.
I did a little recon on last Monday, but only like 30 Ks. It was so muddy, so I mean, obviously you're gonna play a team tactic today and looking forward to it.
Smooth sailing from the air it was, but it was rough riding over the ancient quartzite shale and chert of the Cradle. The N6 Science Safari Essence, Toyota Specialized Mbuka and Honeycomb 226's teams had a number of cards to play in the race. Team tactics were definitely a factor, and no one wanted to be left behind. Hence the searing pace. The elite women's race was loaded with quality racers. Sarah Maria, Tanya Bester, Vera Lossa and national marathon champion Samantha Sanders among them.
Expecting a tough course, actually. Short, but it's a fair amount of climbing, super punchy.
there's no real rest, and of course the field is pretty stacked, so I have no doubt it's going to be a tough race. I do think it's going to be wet, so yeah, you just try to stay upright, don't take any unnecessary risks. But it is super rocky. I've ridden here before, running my pressure slightly higher just to protect the tires.
I think this year it's a pleasure to be racing with my teammates. So Vera Lossa and Sam Sanders are definitely my two favorites. We all back each other throughout this whole series, and our team is going to be here in every single series, or every single event of the series. So as much as I want to back myself, I think I'm going to choose our 18 teammates.
Efficient Infinity Insure had 3 power-packed options in Marais, Lossa and Sanders. The latter made the early pace, forcing the African Continental champion Lossa to do the chasing.
You know, Vera's really strong, really experienced, so I knew it would be a hard race.
And just kept the pressure high. And with the mud, you never know what happens. You need to ride smoothly. Yeah, it's super tough riding, and it's like smooth, and then suddenly you go into this mud puddle and just your bike just gets stuck, and you actually have to uncleat and push out of it, which was quite rough, but it also gives the racing a little bit of excitement, so I quite enjoyed it.
It was slippery. There were a few slip and slides. Shame Tanya also had a slip out, and that's actually where I made my move into third. It was on the climbs where I put the pedal down or the hammer down a little bit, and I could put some time into Sarah. There were a few close calls where she was like, I could kind of see her creeping back up, and then I had to dig deep again and I had to go hard again. So it was a lonely ride because I was on my own, but it was still on my toes the whole time.
The Ford Raptor Rampage segment was definitely the highlight of today for me. Yeah, it was a very tough one, definitely, because it already starts with a drag before you even get to the segment.
Vera went to the front and put the hammer down, and I hung on for dear life.
The Ford Raptor Rampage segment was super tough going up that climb.
But going through the mud, going up, it gets chunky, it gets steep, but yeah, it suited me quite well today and I was quite grateful for it.
And then of course there was a super cool descent thereafter. But yeah, we managed to stay together there, and then from there on it was back and forth the whole time.
The single track causes quite a bit of yo-yo, and it destroys you. 25 k's in or so, there was a super techie single track section. I made a bit of a mistake and had to get off the bike, and I didn't see Mark again.
Britson was in the zone. The SA Marathon champion likes nothing better than setting a crushing pace and forcing his rivals to chase. While he was building a solid lead, behind him the race was on for second. Toyota Specialized in Buco's Jaden Turlo had recovered from his early mistake, but his teammate Ignatius Duprier and Insect Science's Arnaud de Toy were closing in on him at a rapid rate.
I feel like I made quite a little bit of a trend with winning like this, and it's become a little bit of a habit. And I also didn't know the finish, so I knew that I didn't want to sprint finish today, so if I could get away, I was definitely going to try. Yeah, I mean, I pushed for it, so I can't be too surprised.
Yeah, the mud was crazy. it was super difficult to navigate. So yeah, it was tricky.
Yeah, very happy about this one. I mean, the Ford Trailseeker series is quite a big series in South Africa. I mean, it's the biggest one, and to podium here, it means a lot to me.
Yeah, it was a good day. Muddy out there, tough racing, but such a cool course, and here within the animals and everything. Yeah, what a cool ride.
Cradle is definitely one of my new favorites. All in all, super day out.
Yeah, no, those two are on a next level. I'm really happy to see that they're riding so well. They are definitely going to be the team to beat.
It's very hard closing your venue for, you know, something that's mediocre. This is next level. This is the top of there, and it is such a pleasure to have a good partner like this with Ford Trailseeker and for us to get this exposure. We've been rehabilitating this place now for 10 years. Every single month there's something we do just to try and reclaim the nature and introduce animals and just, you know, keep the whole eco aspect is so important to us.
I always enjoy Cradle. It's the best place.
Can't believe it's in Joburg. Yes, no, it was very good. I saw quite a few antelope. One took me off the bike almost.
There was a bit of wildlife. I saw lots of zebra.
We managed to see the rhino, two big, massive rhinos. That was incredible. And then obviously all the back and the giraffes and the zebras.
The venue is marvelous because of the nature and the lake, the dams, the rivers spring through the mud that we had to cycle in or cycle through or cycle across. So it makes it more crazier.
I'm definitely not in shape, but I did it because I wanted the challenge and the sense of accomplishments you get after doing something like this. Like right now, I feel great about myself.
I thought it was gonna be a quick 2-hour race, but it was tough. I've never done anything tougher than this.
I told myself today that whatever happens, I'm not gonna quit. If the 2.5 hours is not over, I'm not quitting. I'm going to the finish line.
What a fantastic day out, and what a fantastic show of all the athletes and the riders. It is just thumping, loving it so much.
Round 2 of the Ford Trailseeker series at Cradle Moon was a wonderful day out for thousands of riders who got to experience the true beauty of the Conservancy and the delights of their trail network. Confirming the top 10, Honeycomb 226's Mark Pritson reigned supreme in the men's race. Toyota Specialized Mbuko's Turlo and Dupree and Insect Science's Dutoy were split by just 39 seconds. The elder statesman of the pro scene, Jan Vittar, was a rock-solid 5th. Efficient Infinity Insure riders took 3 of the top 4 places in the women's race. Namibian Losa ahead of Sanders, with Sarah Maria just over 3 minutes behind Safari Essence Titan Racing's Danielle Dutoy. With 40 points for a win and 30 for second, after 2 rounds, Mark Pritson leads the series by 28 points. He was second to Matt Beers in round 1 in Bunhook. Jaden Turlo was 9th in the Cape, and coupled with his second place in the Cradle is 2 clear of Beers. Vera Lossa's 4th place in Bunhook, added to a win in the Cradle, has the African champion at the top of the women's standings by 22 points. Sarah Maria was 8th at Plaisir, and Francis Janssen van Rensburg, now Swanepoel, was in 10th. Sam Sanders in 6th is just 6 points behind her teammate Maria. The Efficient Infinity team will be racing all 6 rounds of the Ford Trailseeker series, so expect fireworks in the remaining rounds. Whether it's 10, 20, 40 or 70 kilometers, make sure you get to round 3 of the Ford Trailseeker series at Van Galen's Cheese Farm on the 6th of June. Celebrate winter with a day of red-hot riding on the Highveld. It doesn't get better.